Flix55.com. Win cash prizes for posting or just watching videos. Log on to Flix55.com.
Thank you all for being here. Mark Altschuler runs Flix55, and I'm going to give you a little background on the genesis of what we do here and how this all came about. But Mark was one of our very successful executives in one of our earlier internet businesses, which is like over 10 years ago. And thanks to Mark and the team that we had very successful internet operations along with some of the other things that we did. So I will just tell you what we've done in the past, and so will the people to my left. But personally, I feel like Rodney Dangerfield in Back to School. Hopefully you understand the same language that I speak. But the common thread in what you're going to hear up here today and what you're going to experience here for 2 days is that you're with people who are outside the box thinkers. But I get up in the morning and come in here for only one reason: provide good value, make money. About 30 years ago, I recognized a hole in the market and a possible need in the future. If you go back to 1975 or so, if you wanted a car, you had a choice. You either paid cash or took a loan or got your parents to take a loan. Anyway, what I saw coming was a way of a person being able to drive a car and not having to do one of those two things: lease the car. That was a very foreign thing back then. Leasing basically wasn't done except for maybe some senior executives. So we created, through a company called Oxford Resources, which I started, a lease program where any individual could walk into a car dealership and have a third option to get a car: cash, car loan, or a lease. And Oxford became the largest independent automobile leasing company in the United States. And basically it competed with all the big banks: General Motors, Ford Motor Credit, Toyota Motor Credit, Honda Finance, and so forth. So we did that because we recognized a future need and was able to start that business in such a way that we eventually had 4,000 car dealers with 5 salesmen average in each dealership trying to do a car lease for us every day of the week. So if you look at, we leveraged the 4,000 auto dealers and the 5 salesmen. So we created a way to meet a need and to do it in a very efficient way, so we made a lot of money, and that's how we moved on. There's a company now you probably all heard of, is 1-800-Flowers. And I met Jim McCann in 1994, and he said to me that we're going to do, last year we did $1 million on the internet, and next year it'll be $25 million. I said, what is the internet? I didn't know what the internet was. I said, I'm coming over. I ran over to his office. He showed it to me. I came back, and I sat with my two of my sons are here, and I said, boys, let's take the governor off. We've got to get into this thing, the internet. I said, it's the greatest marketing device I've ever seen since the television set. And so we sat down and we had a meeting, and we decided to form a company called carfinance.com. And with that, I'd like to turn this over to Christopher. He'll tell you a little bit about car finance.
I was involved with the auto leasing business that my father just described, and at the time we had grown it from no car dealers to about 4,000 car dealers across the country. And we had about, I'd say, 50 of our own sales reps that would call on these 4,000 car dealers, trying to convince them that when a customer comes into their dealer, why they should lease with us as opposed to leasing with Honda Finance or with Bank of America Lease, et cetera. So at the time, one of the things when we started with the internet business, even before that, we decided something that was just a logical add-on, which was, since we already have relations with 4,000 dealers, what other business could we actually attract from these dealers? And so we decided that we should add a auto lending product to the business. And whenever a customer goes into a car dealer and they want to buy the car, they deal with the finance manager, and that person helps you arrange the loan for the car. So first, we didn't fight that tide. We figured we'll just ride with that tide. We're already in 4,000 dealers. We're already getting leases from all these dealers. We're already visiting them with our sales force. Why don't we also try to get whatever lending business they have, we'll try to acquire that too. But then the internet came along, and as my father said, they described it pretty well. So we said, you know what, we really don't know how to get in, but we want to be in. We said, well, where do people go on the internet when they want to buy a car? So we identified those sites. A big site at the time, and still is today, is Edmunds.com. You can go there and find out about whatever kind of car you want to find out about. So we went out and sought partnerships with these people out there where we kind of filled a void for them, and where they could send us their traffic for people who were buying a car, which was a logical customer for us. They obviously would need a loan. So for virtually no marketing money, we became a highly, highly trafficked site. So we were getting tremendous amount of qualified leads to our site, and they were very good leads with very good credit. And so we were making approvals and everything was going great. So what we did at the time, and people thought we were absolutely crazy for doing it, is we would actually, once you applied for a loan from our site, instead of just giving you an approval, we actually would give you a check. We would mail you a check, and people thought that we were going to have fraud losses all over the place, that you were going to just go cash your check without a car and never pay us. And it was a risk we took. It was definitely a risk we took, and no other competitor at the time was willing to take that risk. So when you walked into the car dealer now, you didn't walk in with, I have an approval. You walked in as, here's my check for the car. So what happened is now we had tremendous traffic to the site, and we had almost 100% conversion with our loans when they went into the car dealerships. And as a consequence, we went from being a nobody on the internet, who knew CarFinance.com, to we probably had at the time roughly 2 out of 3 car loans that were done on the internet were done through us, 2 out of 3. And we sold it to what is now Bank of America bank, the big bank. They ended up taking that subsidiary that we started, CarFinance.com, and sold it to eLoan. So when you see eLoan in their commercials and it says home loans, auto loans, et cetera, we were the auto part. That was CarFinance.com. So I think the next business that we started on the internet was also related to the auto business, actually involved the physical car, which was PriceAutoOutlet.com, and my brother Ralph ran that.
We got back a lot of 3-year-old off-lease cars that we had to sell quickly, efficiently, and profitably. As a result, what we did, we decided to launch PriceAutoOutlet.com, which had 2 divisions, a retail store and a wholesale dealer program. Retail-wise, we were the first and only leasing company to establish a convenient online, one-price, no-haggle buying. We also offered attractive financing, such as used car leasing. At the end of the day, we ended up with 4 successful retail stores, 1 in California, 1 in Florida, 1 in New Jersey, and 1 locally here on Long Island, New York.
The common thread in what you just heard was that no one was doing any of these businesses. We had over 60% market share on loans on the internet. That's huge, is gigantic. And probably in the 10 years we were doing that, we never got 1 car back from anywhere. Now another one of these out-of-the-box kind of places was this, where you're sitting is a television station here. There was basically no television station in an area serving roughly 3 million people. Basically, the consensus was that a television station could not exist and function in a market the size of New York with 25 million people. But here you are sitting in one of the most successful television stations in the United States. They said could never happen, and it's being run by David Feinblatt, who he'll tell you how we operate the station.
TV 55 signed on the air 22 years ago, and since that time, we've remained an independent station. And independent means that we don't have a Fox or an ABC or a CBS or an NBC in front of us. We are what we call ourselves, TV 55. And the uniqueness today of being an independent station is that we get to program ourselves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Having the opportunity to buy all of the shows that we do, we decided to launch an entertainment-based format, and the format of the station is to deliver all of the top shows in syndication, the top shows in all of their categories. The Oprah Winfrey Show is the #1 talk show. Jeopardy is the #1 quiz show. Wheel of Fortune is the #1 game show. I think everybody in this room has heard of Dr. Phil and Rachel Ray and Judge Judy and shows like Inside Edition, the #1 news magazine in the country. And in addition to those shows, we're the only station left in the country that runs a primetime movie, the biggest blockbuster hits out of Hollywood. We run every night at 8 o'clock. If you look around, you're sitting in the studio that originates our 11 o'clock nightly newscast, our newscast that we're very proud of, just recently voted one of the best newscasts by the New York State Broadcasters Association. So a lot of great ideas have come from this. Our independent status also gives us the opportunity to take advantage of picking up major league professional sports teams. So in years past, we've run hockey games for the New York Islanders, the New Jersey Devils. We've had New Jersey Net playoff. We've had New York Knicks basketball games. 2 years ago, we were the only television station in the entire New York market to have the New York Yankee playoff games. And again, that's because we're an independent station. We're able to be nimble and make program decisions very quickly and take advantage of all of the opportunities around us. We've also become major marketing partners with Hollywood's biggest movie studios. We're the first television station in the New York market to actually take a movie trailer, that's the 2-minute coming attraction, the feature that you'll see when you go to a movie. You know how the movie says it starts at 7:30? The movie really doesn't start now until like 8:15 because they just load it up with all of these great previews. Well, we figured out a way to take those previews and market them back to the studios, seizing a business opportunity, selling a 2-minute commercial on television, which is something that none of the other New York City-based stations could do because they're locked into this network constraint that we very luckily do not have.
The reason that we are successful is that the management that we put in place to run these businesses, they're all way above the standard that you would find in their respective jobs. So they anticipate their problems, they're good to their people, our people work hard, they make money, and we're extraordinarily profitable in all the ventures that we do. And we are putting together the same team now. This is a really historic day because this is literally the ground floor. There's no basement under here. And you folks are all part of something that's going to be very unique and exciting. We don't have all the bugs worked out yet, but you will be working them out. And the things that you're seeing now on the web will not be us. You won't find any advertising on our site. And there are other very creative things that are going to happen. We also are tying and marrying, Mark will tell you more about this, but the physical presence of you people in the U.S. on the college campuses with all of the other programs that we have and our national television show, not only are the 25 million people here, but this show, the show that we have weekly, will be seen all over the country. Again, the premise will always be, ultimately, will be providing value to the registrants who are part of the Flix 55 site. So anybody that gets connected to Flix 55 will benefit from it. You put the right people with the right capital, and you really can't be beat. You'll be very successful. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mark Altshuler, who is one of these types of people that we've been successful with. I'll tell you about Flix.
Let me give you a quick background on who I am. I'm an Albany State grad for undergrad. I worked at Goldman Sachs. I was a programmer. I was one of the guys who wrote, I don't know if you ever heard of PC Anywhere. It's a remote computing software. It was like 4 of us in a basement in Dix Hills. Then Michael had recruited me the first time around to do carfinance.com, priceautooutlet.com, and we ran that here until it got sold off. I left for a while. I went to Chase Auto Finance. I handled remarketing and e-commerce in the remarketing area, which was selling vehicles online. Late last year, Michael called me, talked about this opportunity, and I didn't think twice. Basically, Flix 55 is an online video sharing site. It's a television show, and it's a network of college students and feet on the street. That's from 30,000 feet. But Brent, if you can come up and talk about, Brent's going to talk to you. He's director of online marketing for us. He's going to talk about social networking and online video.
I hope you're all awake because I promise to be very boring, so. No, basically, what I'd like to talk to you about is just a little bit, and I'm going to just kind of glance over a few things because I think, judging by the look of all the laptops in the room, we have an internet-savvy audience here. So who here can tell me who the biggest online video sharing site is? YouTube. All right, now YouTube was the early innovators. And some of you might look at this and say, well, it might be very hard to compete with a YouTube or to compete in this environment. And how could you start an effective business of this? But I'll remind you of the second social networking site that you mentioned, which was Facebook, right? Facebook started, nobody thought that they could compete with a MySpace or that they would even have a place in that world. And what they did is they focused on individual college networks, and they focused on what was relevant to the viewers. Well, that's what we're trying to do in online video. That's the reason we have all of you here, is we're focusing on individual college networks. And that's what we would like each of you to do, is to focus on how we can build an individual college network within this space. Just as there was a MySpace who was a behemoth, we have a YouTube who is a behemoth. Now what we're asking you to do is to bring registrants and to bring videos. And when you bring those videos, they don't necessarily have to be unique videos that don't exist on a YouTube. They don't have to be anything like that. They can be on YouTube, but also on our site. Let me tell you, by the end of today, and it won't take very long at all, if you take these flip video cameras, you will then be seasoned video veterans. You'll be able to then upload the videos. And that's what we're asking you to do, is also become an educator in your space being your university, where you have an influence, so that you can educate the people there and say, okay, here's how we make a video. Look at how easy it is. Hold up your flip video camera, press the red button, and we have a video. You flip that thing up, it goes into the USB over here, and you can upload video. And then what we could have, really, is a unique network within your university. For example, we have a couple interns from Miami of Ohio. They have the subdomain muohio.flix55.com. Does anybody recognize how that subdomain structure matches anything else? Facebook, right? Very similar, very intuitive to Facebook, right? It follows a very similar structure, so it's easy to understand, right? Now within that muohio.flix55.com, all of the students will then be able to upload and share videos. And what happens is, when you have 2 or 3 or 200 or 300 videos from a particular university, is all of a sudden, you don't want to be the last one to find out about muohio.flix55.com. So what that's going to do is that's going to create a draw, right? It's going to pull people there because they want to see the videos from people at their university. You go to any other site, that's very difficult to find. You won't even see it in a lot of cases. But that's what we're asking you to do, is to kind of cultivate that community and use that community to build up the site. And then we have other things like the TV show that will also help along with that. The TV show will just make it that much more exciting to be involved with Flix55.
Is there a particular pitch or any kind of vocabulary that you would prefer us use when we're trying to get the word out about this? Is there, anything that you absolutely want us to include in the information pitch?
It's basically, an online video site, right? You can win cash prizes, your friends can win cash prizes, and it's probably the shortest distance to TV you're going to find out there. It's, we don't have that many videos right now. It's actually, the optimal time right now is, if you want to get a video on TV, now's the time to do it. And it's not like other sites where, you need 20 views. If you have the most views on a given day, and you're one of the top 5 videos, and you have as little as 20 views, you're going to get a $25 cash prize. We want as many people to win as possible.
Is Flix55 initially going to be specifically zoned to college communities, and do you have to kind of be within a college community in order to upload a video, or is it going to be open to the public and everything?
When you register, we're going to ask what university did you go to, whether you went to it before or you're now currently enrolled. And that would then tie you to that community. But you would still have the freedom to navigate the site in order to see other communities, and there will be a general version of the site for everybody, which will also kind of plays in the fact that we have a TV show that will be driving traffic. Not everybody who's coming from the TV show aspect will be affiliated with a community there. So it's going to straddle both worlds. It's going to have the community within the whole.
When you send someone your video to view, do they have to be a member of Flix55 in order to view it, or can you just email it to them and they view it right then?
when you send a video, they do not have to be registered in order to view the video. However, there are certain features which, very similar to YouTube, you do need to be registered, and that's if you want to leave a comment, if you'd like to share the video with somebody else, do those sort of things, then it's required that you would have to register.
Are there any other ways that you plan to promote the site? I mean, beyond the TV show and campus reps, are there any other ways? Are you going to be advertising on other websites or something? Or
But we have something called Cash Buddies. Anytime you upload a video, you have the opportunity to name 10 Cash Buddies. These are friends of yours, acquaintance of yours, basically, whose job it is to get the word out on your video and to help you win. Okay? So basically what happens then is you upload your video, and then these people will get an email saying that that John had named you a Cash Buddy for his Black Dog video. Go there and vote on it. So our job is going to be creating tools for you guys. We'll be coming up with promotions. We'll be coming up with other tools like that, other functionality that's slick in the site, but we're counting on you going out there and using your base of people, and we'll support you.
I'm assuming there's more than one or a couple universities, or all the universities have maybe more than one person doing this. For all of us that just have one person so far, like myself, do you want us to maybe recruit some other people to work with us?
Say, for instance, you have your friend Joe, okay? And, you know, he's the type of guy you're thinking on your campus. You're thinking, okay, he's the type of guy who's going to be a good campus rep. He has all the qualities that you think he needs. Now, the reason I say that is it's important because when he's out there working, he's going to be getting his own registrations, okay? Now, if you email me his resume, either myself or Jill, we interview him on the phone, and we sit down with Mark and we decide whether he's going to be a yes or a no. So we give him the yes vote, for example, and he's working away on your campus and he gets 100 registrations. We pay you a referral fee of $250. So now, obviously, we have to look at different demographics, like do we have enough people on the campus to warrant that, another rep there, and also we have to look at, is he up to scratch?
How are the videos going to be filtered, like appropriate content versus not appropriate?
The community will drive it. So basically a video will come out as live, which means that it's visible to everybody. Once it's flagged, and we have it set for 3 times now, once it's flagged 3 times, it'll be flagged that it's under review, and it won't be able to come in. Then we'll go through it, we'll set it, there'll be three statuses of a video: live 18, and banned, or whatever word the last word is, which means we're not gonna have it on the site. If it's live 18, what's gonna happen is you're on the site, you have to be logged in to see the video, it's gonna check the birth date. Even if you're over 18, it's gonna prompt you in saying, hey, this video has been deemed by the community that you should be 18 or over to watch this video. Do you want to continue for this session with these type of videos?
The weekly videos that we do at our campuses, are they going to be featured on our campus's channel?
We're at a very early stage, but the intent will be, let's say siu.flix55.com will feature SIU videos first. So yes.
Is the television show going to be broadcast nationally? And if so, what other networks or stations will it be seen on?
I think the pilot will be on our station, but then we'll buy national time after.
What's the length of the video that like the average user can post?
The maximum video is based on size. It's 100 meg. Some people, depending upon how they set, and I'm not a videographer, you can see my videos, they're horrible. Based upon, I know they can set like density and quality of videos and things like that, so like somebody put a video up on the site that was like 15 minutes, but it was only like 56 meg. You know, that's not ideal. I don't know what the average length is, but that's the cap we're capping.
As far as like the video cameras and the work that we're going to be doing, how is it going to be different from what average users are going to be putting on the website?
The videos that you're going to be doing are going to be specific to, you know, question of the week, you know, or whatever the exact wording of that is going to be. But not limited to that. You could do anything you want, anything of interest on campus. It's key to get it on. But those specifically will have sections on the TV show.
Who do you want us to directly contact about all of our like marketing ideas or advertising ideas? Like, who do you want to be the, I guess, guinea pig for all of them?
If you're a campus rep, it should go to Aiden and Jill. And if you're a part of PSCs or AMA frats, it should go to Brent.
I'm a firm believer of boosting my credentials to the highest point. And earlier you mentioned that there'd be other opportunities, like later on? Like, what other opportunities would that be? Like,
What we're saying is this is just the seed. This is just where we're starting. So we're going to have other types of opportunities to be determined, whether they're e-commerce opportunities and other opportunities too, where you're a part of our team and you'll prosper also.
When people win the prizes, how is everyone going to get their prizes?
PayPal.
One of the key features of being a registered user is your ability to have a library page and your ability to upload videos. As you can see, certain portions of the site cannot be accessed without being a registered user. Functions accessible to registered users include posting comments on videos, viewing your video alerts, messaging other users, and of course, uploading videos. It's easy to register. When on the main page, simply click on the orange register button. You will then be taken to our registration page. Fill out the required fields and click sign up. Once you are registered, it's time to upload your video. Along the top portion of the page, you'll notice options to view your account info, watch videos by category, check out the Flix55 community and specific networks, and finally, upload videos. When you click on the upload video button, simply fill out the required steps. Enter the title of the video, a brief description of your video, any tags you would like for your video. A tag is a word or series of words which people can use when searching for a specific video or genre of videos. For example, if you have a video featuring a baseball game, some tag words may include baseball, ball, game, sport, team, uniform, etc. A category then has to be selected for your video. In this case, if the video we uploaded has to do with baseball, an appropriate category would be sports. After you have filled in the appropriate information about your video, proceed to step 2. Here you are asked to choose a file. Here you locate the file you would like to upload and select it. Choose whether or not you would like people to be able to comment and rate your video. And lastly, you have the option to name up to 10 people you know as Cash Buddies. Simply enter their email addresses and click Add. Or you can go below and select a Cash Buddy from your contacts. Once you read and agree to the terms and conditions, click the box below. Then you are ready to upload. After you upload your video, an email will be sent to you, as well as your Cash Buddies, letting you all know a video has been posted. To check out the video you have posted, go back to the top of the page to My Account. Scroll down to the first option, My Videos. Listed here will be all of your uploaded videos, a URL for each one, how many views it received, comments made about it, and if anyone's favorited it. You can click on the thumbnail to view it, or the title.
Question of the week. We won't call it man in the street because there's too many girls here. So what we're going to call it is the question of the week, for just to be diplomatic, right? When you're interviewing the person, number one, you need to get them to register. Okay? So you have to make sure they're registered. And while they're registering, and you have them at the laptop, you get them to sign the release form or just click agree. Now, if you're going to be doing the man in the street, you need to be organized. So it'd be probably very helpful if you have an assistant that you can do the camera work, all the talking and somebody like that, and you have somebody else with the laptop that can just help you with the registrations. So it's number one, you need to register, and number two, you get them to sign the release. Now, if you go on to flix55.com/release, that's the release form, or it's also on flix55.com/release and then / your username. When you're there with the people, okay, the more enthusiastic you are, the more enthusiastic they're going to be, right? So open-ended questions, for example. You don't want to ask them a question that they can go give you a yes or no answer. So who, what, where, when, why. Questions like that are funny questions. That's something that's even going to get a reaction. So it doesn't have to be movie quality or anything like that. This is an example of the questions we're going to be supplying as well. But you'll get a question emailed to you or whatever every week, and that's the one we're going to use for all the campus reps because we're linking it in with the TV show. So you're all going to be famous.
If you wrote your own autobiography,
Wait a second,
what
is
would
this
the
going to
title
be on TV?
be? No.
What is this for?
No.
Tell me what it's for.
We're working with Flix55 with
Okay.
WLNY. If you wrote your own autobiography, what would be the title?
It would be Gary Churl, the man, the master, the king.
Yes, thank you very much.
And this might be on the internet, is that okay?
Absolutely fine.
All right. Okay.
Do you want me to get naked?
Do you want to get naked?
It was a joke.
There are a lot of different ways that you on your individual campus can look for registrations, can get people involved and build that community. There are also ways, not just events, but there are ways online where you can do that. Facebook is probably one of the most powerful tools at your disposal to reach a lot of people within your campus. One thing we found that works is starting a Facebook group at your school. So it would be Flix55 at my university. Another thing that works is sometimes you can find that people you know or that you know through a friend of a friend have a pretty big Facebook group already, and they may be willing to promote Flix55 for one reason or another. And then you can automatically reach a much larger group. A lot of the videos can be embedded. So if you see an interesting video on Flix55, one good way to promote this is people always like to see a funny or interesting video, or if there's a Facebook group that happens to be about swimming at your university, and we happen to have a swimming video, then we can just post that into that, and that will also help to build the registrations. So the more you can provide relevant content there, the more likely you are to get registrations there. Then what would happen is, as the freshmen come in, you can start promoting the URL, myschool.flix55.com, and say, come check it out. You're going to find out, not as only is it a great place to see funny videos, you're going to find information about your university.
Yesterday, I went through all the forums, took a general poll, and this morning I went through all the videos that you guys put up, and I kind of picked out some ones that are popular, yes, but also like just kind of things that I wanted to hit upon for you guys for making videos and just for seeing, I don't know, what catches people's eyes.
My name is Jennifer Spangler. I am a senior at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. I'm majoring in marketing and management. I'm involved with Pi Sigma Epsilon, and I am actually the president for our chapter. I'm also a groupie for Flix55. My long-term aspirations are to be the and what's not to love?
Off the cuff, if you could choke a Smurf, what color would it turn?
Pink with yellow polka dots.
Thank you so much for coming. I mean, it's so great to see you guys in person. You know, all of it, until you see someone in person, it isn't real. But if you guys have half the fun we're having, it's going to be a blast. And this thing is going to be really good. So have fun with it. Be creative. Communicate. Please don't let, any questions. This is a dialogue. Again, you're not an island. We're here for you.
Now, you look at the big picture of the model, as you know, we want people to be happy with our site. And we're going to do a lot of things on the site that are going to make them want to come back, have fun. And generally, as you know, we're not going to, at this point, we don't plan on having advertising, as we mentioned to you. But what's important to us, other than the campus reps, doing the job to get the word out, to tell your friends, to help us find other campus reps, it's going to be a really good job. And in fact, if your seniors train your replacement, and as you see someone who's going to be good for that. But the primary thing, I don't know if Aiden covered this or Mark, the primary thing, the number one thing should be on your mind is registrations. You to do videos are good, but what's driving you and what's going to be successful for you is that you create registrations from your school. Registrations are us. I personally just want to thank you all for being here. This is an unbelievably good group. And I think if this is the kind of people that we're starting with, we can't miss. I really mean that. There's really talented people here, hidden talent that's coming out. So hopefully this is all going to be something great for your career going forward. Terrific learning experience, make some money, something good for your resume, and hopefully as we grow, some of you will stick to us because they're very good talent in this room. So, thank you.
Flix55.com. Win cash prizes for posting or just watching videos. Log on to Flix55.com.